Hi creative friends, it's Gwen with you today with another scrapbooking process video. But this video is very special because it's part of my Cut File Shop's second birthday celebration. So yes, Cut to You is turning 2 and we're doing a month-long YouTube hop. I've got some amazing creatives coming to share with their work with the cut files, including Missy Whidden, Raquel Bowman, Amanda Jane, Vicki Parker, Sue Plumb, and Lauren Hender, as well as our regular DT and all those girls who regularly share on YouTube. They'll all be joining in and we're going to have a really, really fun month. Lots of inspiration. I will leave all the details down below for you, so be sure to check those links. I'm working today with the Cartabella Flora number 3 collection. This is brand new to me, and I've kind of got a plan where I'll be using those 3 color tones. It's a very soft pastel collection, really lovely, lots of floral elements, and I really like the mauvey purple in it. I know, who even am I? I used to hate purple until it's actually Zoe's fault. Zoe from Cocoa Vanilla released a collection a while back called Boho Dream, and it's got mauves in it, and ever since that collection I'm like all about mauve and purple. Who even am I? Back to the layout, and yes, as I mentioned, it's the first page I've created with this collection, so I am doing a quick sweep of all the ephemera to make just to exclude some elements. So I want to just keep everything that's in those 3 color tones that I'm working with for this page. And yeah, it really just helps me keep on track and not get too overwhelmed by all the choices. And I do have a little sketch, a little plan happening there, which you'll see a photo on the left and main embellishments, and then a little feature embellishment on the right. And it does come together pretty much like that, which is nice for a change. So yeah, so here I am working on my background. That strip's 2 inches and the next one's going to be 1 inch. That's, I think, the only thing I measure on the whole page. Not a big measurer. And I'm working from the background of the layout up towards the center, and then from the top of my layout, so my photo mat, down towards the center. So they kind of meet in the middle. And I do all of my pages like this essentially. I find it's just how I work, but also that the end result seems more consistent for me. Now I am backing my photo with this Crafters Fun Foam. You actually get it in the kids section of the major stores like Spotlight here in Australia. You can buy it in bulk and it's quite economical, but also my local scrapbook shop sells it by the sheet. So if you just want 1 or 2, if you just want to try it out, you can do that as well and just get it by the sheet. And yes, you're seeing right. I use the scissors to cut my tape because I like the edge to be straight. Yes. Here I am backing my photo. Again, didn't measure anything. So I do the major cuts with my big trimmer. And then I like to use my little trimmer because it's a guillotine trimmer. So the edge, I find the edge is sharper, so a smoother line, and it's super precise. You can, I find like you can trim off a millimeter's worth of paper if you need to with that little guillotine trimmer. It's the best, but it's not big. Like if it was big, I wouldn't need the other one at all. But because it only does up to, I think, 6 by 6, so I kind of use both. There I am with my tape again. I did leave some of this in here today, just because a few of the comments that I got from my first video was that you like to see how I work, and sometimes watching a YouTube video is not like this major big thing that you learn, this crazy new technique, but it can be in the small things, the way that someone, you know, attaches tape or arranges their page, or so it can be a small thing that actually is a useful thing. It doesn't have to be, you know, mind-blowing rocket science to be interesting to watch and learn from. So I did leave a little bit there. So here I am fussing Oh yes, the cut file was a little bit long, but it worked out because I did need something for that other left-hand edge. So I thought, you know what, I will just trim off a little bit of these leaves, and it will make the cluster on the left a little less long, a little more confined, and it will give me two leaves to pop on the right there. So I do fuss with this for a little while because, you know, this is the main element on the page really. So it's important to get this stuff locked down. So I am going to add some tape here. Now notice I'm adding it to the center there. That's because in a moment I'm going to head off camera and add some stitching. I love stitching. I stitch on every page. I stitch around my photos, and I stitch generally around the outside edge of my pages. I really like the way that it finishes it off. I like the way that it's that handmade element. And as you can see, I showed you just before the photo, and so now the photo and the cut files are all stuck together, but nothing stuck to the background. So I can move that now as one big piece. I don't have to go fussing and repositioning those cut files now. They're kind of locked in. So here I am creating the frame, which is, yeah, as I was saying, it's what I do a lot on my, I don't know when that started, but it just finishes off the page, I think. So that's a 1-inch border that I cut from the base, the green, and then the top layer is 1 centimeter off 2 sides. So if you're a measurement person, that's the measurements I use. If it's a pattern that's needs to be centered, just make sure you do 1/2 centimeter off all 4 sides instead of 1 centimeter off 2 sides. I hope that makes sense. Oh, I hope my mouse is right. Yeah, so yeah, see how that's one whole piece? I don't have to go fussing with that cut file anymore. It's all, you know, one big piece. So my stitching's added, and now I've locked that onto my background. And then here comes the chipboard piece that started the whole inspiration for the page. It says, "You are beautiful," and she is, isn't she? It's actually taken before her first school disco. So it was a very exciting evening a few years back. Now, I need to work with the things that are large first. So we'll always work with larger embellishments and my title first, because it'll get to a point, the page will get to a point where things will be too big to put on there. Even if they're perfect and even if they match really lovely, you'll run out of space. So I find that if I don't lock these things in early, I'm stuck with all of these really large embellishments. And I don't know about you, but I'm noticing the embellishments are getting larger in the packs. So I'm on a mission to get those big things locked in early on my page. So back to, oh yes, I needed that chipboard floral though, right? I'll use that in a minute. That definitely makes the page. Now I'm looking for some more little layers to tuck in, you know, around my photo. I don't want to cover up too much of that pretty cut file, but I do want some interest. And this is really sweet, it's got little punched out circles. So it gets popped in there. It does need it. That's the first place I put it, so we can't have that. It'll have to be auditioned somewhere else first, and then it will end up back where it began. And I'm just really going through any of the pieces that looked like they would match. It's really just a matter now of having a little play around with things. Yeah, see, back to where it started. Yep, okay. Oh, it's just a little long. Yeah, so don't worry about things not tucking underneath things. Just chop that bit off. No one will know that it's not there. And that cute little piece beside it says, "What a wonderful day." And it was very exciting. Exciting day. So that floral piece is quite large as well, but I think it's really nice because it's obviously matches the tones, but it also matches those floral elements. So it gets auditioned a bit. It just stays there, but I just wanted to make sure it was up the right way. And here I am filing off the little tabs from my embellishment pieces. Does anyone else get fussed with those? I don't know why I get so fussed with those. Let me know. Yeah, and I'm working on, yeah, just the little details here. There's nothing else that's really large that's going on the page. Yeah, just the little things. And that doesn't end up staying there, so you'll see in a minute. Oh, so funny. Neither do they. Neither do they. But I wanted to keep them in here, this part in here, because when you see these beautiful pages of people's all the time, like I used to think that, oh, that's just like the first place they put that. Oh, how do they get it to look so good so quickly? This is a little more real. I'm being a little bit more real here, you know. Things do get auditioned, things do get moved around. Not always, but for a lot of the time they do. They do. So you'll see in a minute. I was rolling with that. I was committed to that, but they don't end up staying there. It ends up being too heavy. Too heavy for my liking anyway. I'm sure someone would be like, oh, I would have kept it there, but yeah. So here I am. It's actually the next day. Oh, later on that night, I think, actually. And I've gone, you know what? Maybe I'll just dig through my stash and have a look see if there's anything of this older supplies that I can pull in with these new things. And I do like to do that a little bit because, you know, you're not always going to have like a full collection to work with. It's nice to be able to draw in other elements. And I did also make those cute little bows because bows are life. Yes, and I found these, and they are like the pink in them is the perfect tone to my background. So they are a handmade embellishment from a lovely lady named Charm. So they're Charm's Creations. Yeah, and she makes them by hand, and she's got really fun icons, clouds and hearts, and these little cute little kiss hugs. And they were perfect just for the color, and they were the right size. And interestingly, they're quite large, but at this point they worked. So I was rolling with that. So the layout's pretty much coming together now. It's really those smaller elements, cute little puffy hearts. And yes, I position them on the clear plastic first, just to be sure, and then they will get stuck down. I know, right? I will go back. I think you'll see in a minute, actually, I do add some of my Scotch Quick Dry glue behind them too. But first, I think I have to fuss with the bow a bit. Fuss with the bows, yeah. I'm not sure. They are cut out of scraps from the 6x6 paper pad, but I found that they were getting a little bit lost in the background, so it was a bit tricky. But I really wanted one on the page because bows. It's been a while since I've done a page without a bow on it. Yep, all about them bows. Oh, and I'm still fussing with that title. I think I was concerned that the other one, because it went lengthways across, it was covering up too much of her. So I wanted one that wasn't cut. And I know it's just her arm, but I just didn't want it too much over the photo, because that's what this is all about, right? Not, yes, all the pretty things, but the photo. And that's a little embellishment too from my stash from Happy Scrappy Studio. That's also a handmade embellishment. Those ones, I think she's on Etsy. Yeah, she's on Etsy. I might get them. I've got a few things from her. They're very sweet too. And then, so that's where the bow ends up. Not that one, the other one. We go back to that one. It's just to, and the purple, the bold of the purple is a good thing. So yeah, it's really coming together now. It's not too much to go. I'm pretty happy with how that's all looking. I think it's a nice balance of, oh no, more fussing with the bows is required. Oh, I don't know why, I wanted 2 bows on there. That's interesting. Just the one ends up there. Because you don't want to cover up the detail of that cut file, do I? Oh, and then that's right, I put the glue on and then I smooshed the glue all over the cut file, and then I go, okay, well that's where that's going, isn't it? That's where that's going. So while I wrap up, you'll get some close-ups in a moment, but I did want to thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the hop this month. I hope you're inspired by all the work the girls are sharing. It's going to be so much fun. And there's a stack of promos and things happening as well for the store. So check the link below, check all the details below. If you like cut files, if you like free cut files, there's a link below. If you want a discount off of your order in July, there's a link below, and a code. So yeah, come join our family, our creative family, and join in the fun of our second birthday. I'm just so grateful and thankful for the opportunity to be able to do this as my job. And I've just met so many wonderful people, and so lovely to be able to inspire you all and help you get your memories scrapped. And I feel, yeah, super thankful for it. So here's the finished layout. I'll show you a little bit of a close-up there. There's some shots coming up, and yep, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.